Males fall into one of two categories in modern society: alpha males and beta males. The former ideal embodies self-assurance, respect for oneself, assertiveness, charisma, and masculinity. Beta males are the traditional good guys who frequently lack moral integrity and self-worth, show a strong reliance on social situations and other people's approval, and frequently put others' needs and feelings before their own. Most men fall into one of two categories. However, there is a small subset known as sigma males who don't exactly fit into either. They are the mystery of the male gender, extremely unusual in society. They are a combination of an alpha and a beta male, but they are neither. The members of the Sigma fraternity are passionate about being unique. Consequently, the subject of our video for today is, are Sigma males the chosen ones? Men who identify as Sigma men live their lives as they like without giving a damn what other people think. Males in the Sigma fraternity are free thinkers who don't mind challenging tradition. They combine creativity with common sense, complexity with simplicity, and strength with softness. They have a great level of regard for themselves. They are not scared to go after what they want, and they are self-aware. However, Sigma males also possess compassion, helpfulness, and gentleness. Although they have robust personalities, they frequently maintain a low profile. Now, let's get some specifics. Number 1. They hate attempts to peek into their personal affairs. The only issue is that the Sigma males are not like most men. While most men enjoy telling stories about themselves to impress others, this is not true of Sigma males. They prefer to always keep their cards close to their chest, and if you ever try to ask them a personal question they weren't anticipating, they will get quite upset. If these folks figure out your strategy, they can end up giving you a false number. Therefore, it's best not to do anything. The list of people they would want to confide in does not include total strangers whom they have just met. Instead, they would rather do so with people they can trust with their lives. Number 2. Due to their complexity, Sigma males are frequently perceived by others as oddities. In comparison to the average individual, they are more intelligent, experienced, and global. Although they are frequently misunderstood and persecuted for their distinctive characteristics, Sigma males are almost always painted in a negative light. They can be incredibly complex and challenging to read, but they are typically quite humorous. The reality is that they are misunderstood by society, and frequently their misunderstood behavior is the only way they have to express themselves. Because of their uniqueness, society needs to start treating Sigma men more positively. They stand out from other alpha males because they possess certain qualities. They frequently have artistic tendencies, are progressive thinkers, and are not preoccupied with things that are typically associated with men. Part of the reason they are misunderstood is that they are frequently passionate. They conceal their intense emotional side from the public and do not want to display it. Due to the fact that it takes time to get to know them and the difficulty they have in trusting others, they are always challenging to deal with. Number 3. They won't follow convention. The fact that they would not allow themselves to conform to the typical routine of life is what distinguishes Sigma guys from other members of society the most. In fact, these people decide whether or not something is worthwhile before making a final choice based on this knowledge by using their intuition. The men in the Sigma fraternity always know what is best for them at any given time, regardless of whether you believe they are making all the wrong decisions in life. Number 4. They would rather choose the simple solution. It may seem mutually exclusive, but Sigma men never feel the need to put in the kind of effort necessary for others to survive. Instead, these men prefer to take shortcuts whenever they can, allowing them to advance without having to worry about things like obstacles along the way. They desire a smooth transition from the start to the finish of their lives, and as a result, they will seek out everything that will make their overall experience more pleasant and potentially attractive to others. Number 5. The only way to find out what he wants is to ask him directly. The Sigma group of guys places a high value on independence, therefore they are not too concerned with what other people think of them. Even though it is not at the top of their list of priorities, they will nevertheless make an effort to fulfill others' desires if given the chance. When you are in a relationship with one, you might need to be the one to take the initiative and ask them directly what they want because they are prone to keep their ideas to themselves, unless asked. Number 6. They favor serene and quiet environments. If a Sigma male is with you, you may want to choose a place that is both cozy and quiet enough for the two of you to enjoy each other's company without being interrupted. As social noise undermines everything they stand for, they passionately hate crowds and parties. Except in situations where they have specifically chosen this setting, they dislike being surrounded by a lot of people. Although going out alone would not necessarily be preferable, this does not imply that it would. They typically choose a quiet area, such as a room or park, where they may be alone and unrestricted without having anyone else's thoughts or movements interfere with them. Number 7. They don't mind being by themselves. Male Sigmas typically make it a point to avoid social gatherings because they cherish their alone time so highly. These men would prefer to spend time alone, planning their next course of action, in order to succeed or generally advance to something better than what they would be doing if they were spending time with other people. If you want to maintain the relationship, you may need to learn how to deal with the behavior of a Sigma guy because you will never meet one who does not occasionally love losing themselves in their own thoughts. Number 8. They have a broad outlook. Never will you meet a Sigma male who does not make every effort to keep an open mind about everything that occurs in the world around him. These men are aware that everyone has a distinctive viewpoint, and they relish seizing those occasions whenever they arise in order to improve their decision-making as a result. Since they have been excellent scholars their entire lives, these guys enjoy picking the brains of others whenever it is available. Despite the fact that they are typically well-loved by others, they don't seem to give much thought to what others have to say in general. Generally speaking, Sigma men are highly open-minded people who follow their passions wherever they may take them. These guys stand out from the crowd because they are able to maintain a state of active curiosity without worrying too much about what other people think of their actions. While this can lead to some social issues, in the long run, it does not have a significant impact on them because they are driven more by a desire to learn than anything else. Number 9. They are fiercely devoted. Given their high level of intelligence and diligence, Sigma men frequently go above and beyond to establish their worth. You may bet on developing a close bond with these men, no matter what it takes if you happen to be someone who is significant in their lives. Because they constantly have more work to accomplish, they could occasionally come off as distant. But if given the chance, your love interest will never leave you for any reason. These were some of the qualities that set Sigma fraternity members apart from the general population and made them a unique breed of men. Are you all in agreement with the aforementioned points? In the comment box, please let us know. See you guys in the next one.